everyone, welcome to CNA Daily Newspaper Analysis. So today we have got the following contents. Okay, so let's start with the today's analysis. See, the first of the topic directly is associated with your GS3 paper of internal security. Recently, our Union Home Minister Amit Shah directly said about some of the internal security challenges that India is facing directly from the democracy that is directly getting changed in some of the border areas. Okay, so we can see that he was speaking at some of the concluding session of a two-day National Security Strategies Conference. Okay, that is directly known as the NSS conference. So in this NSS conference, it brings a unique mix of some of the top leadership addressing some of the national security challenges alongside providing, some of the cutting edge police officers or security practitioners and experts from specialized fields who are directly tackling various number of associated challenges that today the country is facing. Okay, so in this respective news, we have seen about the demographic change. So if I see about a report, today, according to statistics, the population of Muslims in border districts has directly increased by approx 32% since 2011. 2011 से ये 32% क्या हुआ? Increase हुआ. And on the contrary, the population change across the country has been somewhere between 10 to 15%. अगर मैं पूरा country का देख लूं, जहां पे border states भी नहीं है, तो वहां पे हम लोग का 10-15% का एक increase हम लोग को देखने को मिल रहा है क्या चीज का? About a Muslim population. And based on these latest records of panchayats of Uttar Pradesh as well as even the Assam police, okay, यहाँ पे forces have directly sent separate reports to the Home Ministry where it has directly been decided that हम लोग का जितना भी demography है, demography is directly changing in the border areas, and this is directly a matter of concern because in the last 10 to 15 years this has drastically changed. Today, many number of areas, okay, of the state of Assam, okay, being the second populous state, Muslim populous state, we can see that slowly and slowly the demography is changing. Today, more and more number of districts of the state is directly coming under this respective population. Okay, and therefore we can see there are various number of concerns associated with this demographic change. तो पहला concern क्या है? It is directly a threat to internal security. See, security agencies believe, जैसे वो लोग सोचते हैं कि like this democratic type of changes, it not just the increase in population, but it could be a new design of infiltration in our country. And not only that, these areas are witnessing increase in radicalization. Recently, we have in our state have busted some of the 5 terror modules in Assam. I'm telling about Assam. 5 terror modules. Okay, जैश ए मोहम्मद का हम लोग ने terror module bust किया है, ठीक है. हरकतुल जिहाद इस्लामी बांग्लादेश, उसका हम लोग ने terror module bust किया है. ISIS का supporters को हम लोग ने bust किया. So there are some of the 5 terror groups which were directly busted in Assam in the recent some around 5 to 4 years. Okay, and इसके साथ हम लोग का क्या होता है? Discontentment among the local population. जब दूसरे लोग यहाँ पे आएंगे, then obviously we'll feel discontent. We'll obviously feel that these people are directly taking our respective resources, which is very much in scarce. So analysts believe that the current change of demography indicates that demographic balance has changed in the region of Bengal as well as Assam, which directly leads to the revolt among the people. तो हम लोग का 1979 में जो हम लोग का असम रिवॉल्यूशन हुआ था, उसी के टाइम में जो हुआ था, आज भी वही हो रहा है. And these changes can lead to the change in voting pattern also, that thereby distorting what? The actual representation of people from this region. आज ऐसे बहुत जगह है जहां पे पहले वो मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी के लोग थे ही नहीं. But today we could see a large portion of people directly engaged in voting behavior, which directly changed the representation or the will of the people with respect to a particular political party or respective to a particular political interest. Okay, so therefore such number of things supposedly about the changing demographic pattern, ये हम लोग को control करना है. And even in this very conference, even the intelligence bureau has made a presentation of the rising Muslim population in the border districts of even the bigger states like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. And इसी के लिए गवर्नमेंट अभी क्या कर रहे हैं? डायरेक्टली दे आर कमिंग अप विद द नेशनल ऑटोमेटेड फिंगरप्रिंट आइडेंटिफिकेशन सिस्टम, जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं नाफीस, नाफीस. ये क्या करेंगे? दिस इज डायरेक्टली विल आइडेंटिफाई the respective identity of the individual who is directly trespassing or who is directly making a presence in the region of the border areas of the respective states where the demography have changed recently. And the systems will directly help in what? Quick and easy disposal of cases with the help of centralized fingerprint database. Okay. Now, but now today the intelligence agency should also change the respective approach. ये हम लोग का बोला गया था हमारे अमित शाह जी के द्वारा कि like the basic principle of today's modern intelligence agency should not needs to know, but they need to share and duty to share. And hence he have very much focused towards the 5G technology कि ये 5G टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज करो and bolster the security system of our country. क्योंकि आज अगर हम लोग का कंट्री का यूनिटी इंटीग्रिटी मेंटेन करना है, हम लोग का प्रिंसिपल्स, हम लोग का आइडिया ऑफ एन इंडिपेंडेंट भारत, सॉवरेन भारत अगर हम लोग को मेंटेन करना है, तो वी हैव टू फोकस मच मोर टुवर्ड्स द इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी सिस्टम ऑफ आवर कंट्री व्हिच इज गेटिंग डिट्रेटेड बाय such number of infiltration who are creating rakas in the society of us. Okay, so ये एक respective issue है that is currently in news, and because of this we need to focus more number of border developmental programs. ठीक है, उसके लिए हम लोग को border outpost खोलना पड़ेगा, border joint border patrolling. Supposedly मैं आज बांग्लादेश के border guards Bangladesh as well as BSF have to do more number of patrolling in the respective borders. They have to be very much concerned towards the people migrating from one place to the other, illegal migrants, cow vigilantism, and all such number of areas. Okay, the people who are directly exporting cow from one place to the other. Okay, the illegal migration of the cows, illegal transportation of the cows. Okay, so all these things we need to directly monitor, क्योंकि जब ये illegal immigrant ज्यादा बढ़ेंगे तब crimes ज्यादा बढ़ते हैं. And if the crime directly goes at a very higher rate in the respective country, obviously the country have got a detrimental effect. Economy का यहाँ पे loss होगा. Because at that point of time we have got problems, smuggling, drugs, cattle smuggling, artifacts, Indian currency, fake Indian currency notes, ये सब बढ़ जाते हैं, और जब ये सब बढ़ते हैं, then the Indian economy is totally going loss. तो इसीलिए we have to directly take part and we have to directly engage more and more number of our respective work profile towards the areas of the border states. Okay, so ये एक respective news है. चलो, coming to the next topic, that is post-COVID standing about a K-shaped recovery. See, when I say about the economy of our country, okay, तो हम लोग देखते हैं कि like during the time of this COVID pandemic, the Indian economy was one of its worst ever phases. Okay, worst ever phases के time में कहाँ था? After this post-pandemic area, and GDP growth at this period of time fell continuously. And it was around 8.2% in March 2018 and had fallen to around 3.1% by the end of March 2020 because of this COVID pandemic. And the nominal GDP also, okay, nominal GDP growth in 2019-20 fell to just 7.2%, which was lowest if I have to compare it with 1975-76. Okay, and even the gross tax revenue collections were hardly around 81.6% of the budget. Okay, which was lowest since 2000. So in the wake of pandemic, with the rampant job losses and surging COVID-19 cases in our country, the economy directly recorded a level contraction for a financial year, or in the very quarters of the financial year by the end of 2020. And even the manufacturing as well as the construction sectors shrunk by around 39%, and the construction sector directly shrunk by around 50%. While the overall service sector, which we are very much focused upon, they have shrunk to around 20.6%. And as the economy gets unlocked, it has to start and recover from this pandemic. Okay, that directly induce a very good number of slowdown. Okay, and this is very much expected to carry the momentum for the country of India to grow in its respective prospects. Okay, तो हम लोग को अपना जो निब्री इंडेक्स है, that is the Nomura's Index, India's Business Resumption Index. Okay, we have to see about the investments, about the FDI, we have to see about the GDP indications, we have to see about the revised imports as well as exports, we have to see about the financial market surges, we have to see about the GST collections. Okay, so we have to monitor all this alongside the governmental helps in going on for Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. Okay, we have to go for various number of consumer sentiments in our country. And also we have to see about the K-shaped recovery. तो जब मैं बोलता हूँ K-shaped recovery, and India's economy is very much expected to have a K-shaped recovery. Okay, and it was most evident during the time period of when? During the time period of the September quarter of 2020. Okay, and at that period of time, India GDP was expected to grow around 12.5%. Okay, so therefore, in this period, the K-shaped recovery becomes a very important phenomenon. यहाँ पे देख सकते हो about the K-shaped recovery. And what is this? It occurs when following a recession, different parts of the economy recover at different types of magnitudes. And a case of recovery directly leads to the changes in the structure of the economy on a broader basis. And the outcomes and relations are fundamentally changed before and after relations. And this type of recovery is called K-shape because the path of different parts of the economy, when charted together, may diverge, resembling the two arms of the Roman letter K. यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं ये जाता है टेक्नोलॉजी एंड लार्ज कैप फर्म्स, यहाँ पे स्मॉल बिजनेसेस एंड आइक्लेस और द ब्लू कॉलर एरियाज. And therefore, we have seen that a K-shaped recovery is the one in which the performance of different parts of economy diverges like the arms of the letter K. यहाँ पे भी देख सकते हैं. Some parts of the economy recovering, some parts directly stagnating or sinking. कुछ recover करेंगे and कुछ directly recession पे जाएंगे, slow down हो जाएगा. Okay, so therefore this term K-shaped recovery, it directly rose into prominence in around 2020 in the wake of the sharp recession in the US also that accompanied even the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, and it was used to describe the uneven economic recovery across different sectors, industries, as well as groups of people in our economy. And unlike other shape descriptions of economic recessions and recoveries, such as like the L shape, like the V shape, like the U shape, like the W shape, which describes the part of the economy wide macroeconomic aggregate variables like the gross domestic products, K-shaped recovery describes the path of different disintegrated economical variables, such as income across different segments of the society or employment in different industries relative to one another. Okay, so therefore, we are slowly and slowly going towards the K-shaped economy. And because of this COVID pandemic, today we have seen that some of the very infrastructures or some of the very industries or some of the various sectors today is booming and some of the other are totally in loss. Okay, so therefore, post-COVID spending, India's economy directly went into a K-shaped economy or K-shaped recovery, which is continuing till today because we have not yet ended with the post-COVID effects. Okay, so ये था एक analysis about the K-shaped. Next पे आता है inflation target page. When I say about inflation, okay, so inflation has got or it is very much affected the whole economy of every country. Okay, so if I precisely define about inflation, it is directly a rise in the prices of most goods and services of daily or common use, such as it may be clothing, it may be food, it may be housing, it may be recreation, it may be transport, okay, it may be some of the consumer staples. And inflation measures the average price change in a basket of commodities and service over time. Okay, and similarly, if I say the opposite of inflation, it directly goes with deflation. Or deflation क्या होता है? The opposite and rare fall in the price index of this basket of items is called deflation. Okay, and therefore inflation is what? It is an indicative of the decrease in the purchasing power of the unit of a country's currency, and what is directly measured in percentage. So today we have got two types of inflation. One is what? One is the demand pull inflation. एक है demand pull और दूसरा क्या है? दूसरा है cost push inflation. Demand pull inflation क्या है? It arises when aggregate demand in the economy becomes more than the aggregate supply. और cost push क्या है? When there is a decrease in aggregate supply of the goods and services results into increase in the cost of the production. तो ये दो चीजें, एक होता है demand pull, एक होता है cost push. Okay, and what are the factors that are directly affecting the inflation? It is the demand side inflation is caused by high demand and low production of supply. And the cost pull inflation is caused by shortage of the factors of the production like labor, land, capital, and also due to artificial scarcity created due to hoarding. For example, we can see about the brand crude prices that was holded so that the price is directly rising, supposedly during the COVID pandemic. ओके, लोगों को एक दिन के लिए बाजार का टाइम मिलता है शायद. ओके, तो ड्यूरिंग दिस पीरियड ऑफ टाइम द पीपल हु कैन डायरेक्टली अफोर्ड दे डायरेक्टली होल्ड इट द आइटम्स फॉर अराउंड 7 days, जो कि लिमिटेड आइटम्स था. तो बाकी लोगों के लिए क्या, वो आइटम्स नहीं बचा था, तो दे आर डूइंग व्हाट, होल्डिंग. ओके, ये सब बहुत लोग करते हैं who directly sees that there is a particular scope in the very future so that they could directly sell it at a very higher price. So holdings बहुत होते हैं. Okay, so today if you see about the indicators which directly used to measure inflation in India today, we primarily use two main indices, that is the WPI, that is the wholesale price index, or एक है CPI, that is the consumer price index. Okay, so even you can see that the CPI directly calculates the difference in the price of commodities and services. Okay, and the wholesale price which measures the wholesale and retail level price changes. Okay, so therefore we can see that this WPI and the CPI is the main factor today to directly calculate the respective inflation in our country. Okay, but we all know that inflation can be very much of timid for a country like India, because once the purchasing power of a currency unit decreases as the commodities and service gets dearer, which directly affects what? That directly affects the cost of living in a country. When the inflation is high, the cost of living is directly also getting higher as well, which ultimately leads to what? Deceleration in the economical growth of the nation. Okay, so therefore, in the coming times, the government is directly monitoring. The government is directly saying that there should be various number of programs as well as implementation techniques to directly have good inflation mechanisms, or to directly have a centralized government authority, so that it could make some of the measures to ensure the smooth and plain running of the economy. And RBI, through its monetary policy committee, controls inflation with its tools to control the money supply in the market. Okay, so therefore, even the central government has notified even today that 4% of the CPI inflation during the time period of 2020-21, okay, with the upper tolerance limit of 6% and a lower tolerance limit of 2%. मतलब inflation को 2 से 6 के बीच में हम लोग को टैप करके रखना है. So that's the respective target of the government of India. So it's directly based upon the consumer price index, that is the CPI. Okay, so therefore we can see that though there are various pros and cons associated with the respective inflation, but to make inflation be under control is a very good step directly taken, or directly is under the government of India, so that the price stabilization could be very much of secured, and the country could directly make a balance between the demand pool as well as the cost pool. Okay, तो यहाँ पे directly RBI, government of India, तो everyone is directly associated with the part of inflation. Okay, तो ये एक basic news था about the inflation target pledge. Next पे आते हैं Indian blockchain platform. When I say about a blockchain technology, okay, तो मैं अगर blockchain के बारे में बोलूँ, then what are blockchains? They are some of the new data structures that is secure, cryptography based and distributed across a network. And this technology support even the cryptocurrencies, जैसे जो हम लोग सुनते हैं बिटकॉइन के हिसाब से, because they transfer what? Data or some of the digital assets. Okay, so therefore we know that this particular chain directly operates in some of the 4 categories. अगर मैं 4 ways में बता दूं, तो the technology allows transactions to be simultaneously anonymous and secure, peer to peer, instant and frictionless. दूसरे में क्या होता है? It does it by distributing some of the trust from the powerful intermediaries to a large global network. Okay, इसके बाद क्या होता है? A block is the current part of the blockchain which records some or the other recent action, and once completed directly goes into the blockchain as a permanent database. And each time a block gets completed, a new block is generated, and blocks are linked to each other in proper linear and chronological order, with every block containing a hash of the previous block. So therefore, it is very much of timid. It is very much of essential today, and therefore we can see that many countries, be it even Estonia. Okay, Estonia, agar main country bolta hu, it was once a part of the Soviet Union. So today you can find this country in Northern Europe. Capital being of Estonia being Tallinn, Tallinn, Tallinn. Okay, it borders the Baltic Sea. Okay, and you can see that the Gulf of Finland it also borders with. ओके, तो उसको अगर एस्ट्रोनिया न्यूज में है तो यू हैव टू गो विद द ज्योग्राफी आल्सो, ज्योग्राफी के पर्सपेक्टिव में हम लोग को जाना पड़ेगा. So though we can see that the blockchain has got a good number of prospects, because even if you see about the Bitcoin, it is just one of the application for the technology who use this blockchain technology. लेकिन आज मैं अगर देखूं, then blockchain powered smart contracts where every form of information is recorded can enhance the ease of doing business. Today, the healthcare, banking, education, agriculture, electricity, distribution of land records are sector that could be benefited through the blockchain. Also, blockchain could play a crucial part in the health insurance claims by reducing the risks of insurance claim frauds. Today, the blockchains can use the artificial intelligence and the Internet of Things, which can immensely be used in some of the applications of the blockchain. So it could be used even to further strengthen our national institutions, including the judiciary, including the election commission, including the CAG, that is the Comptroller and Auditor General. Everyone is directly very much regulated, can be regulated through this blockchain technology. So prospects बहुत है, लेकिन prospects के साथ हम लोग का क्या है, challenges भी बहुत है. So that challenges, blockchain technology is expensive to initially put in place. बहुत expensive होता है ये network create करना. Also, there should be a massive usage of energy for the functioning of the blockchain. Okay, in an energy less not rich nation like us, हम लोग इतना energy rich नहीं है, we are energy scarce. So safeguarding even the privacy of the respective individual and companies in the blockchains are obviously who are very much equal or open to the ledgers. So it will directly pose a challenge to write the privacy. Okay, we also have to get a proper knowledge about the technology, or else it will be very much of dreaded for us. Many people can directly fraud us in the name of blockchain. Okay, so therefore blockchains का जितना prospects है, challenge भी उतना है. लेकिन if the government is very much interested to go with a respective upgradation or to benefit the social sector, we should see that even these blockchains can help us to fight corruption, cut red tapeism, to personally identify someone. Okay, so in agriculture also, this number of blockchains can be used. Okay, because the blockchain's role is to what? Improve the third party involvement by ensuring that they are tracking, collecting and managing the data in the best possible way. Okay, health में use कर सकते हैं, government and democracy में use कर सकते हैं. So in every particular time, even this environment protection, we can directly build up this respective blockchain technology in the environment arena. Okay, so in plethora of work or in plethora of departments, we can use these blockchains, and therefore India is very much interested to go with a digital infrastructure based on blockchain technology that can directly transfer what? The digital ecosystem of our country, and which will also enable the future of the digital services, platforms, application, contents, as well as solutions. So blockchain with all its possibilities are need a serious look at its vulnerabilities and commerciality. Before introducing blockchain into this public sector data handling system, we need a robust and informative data repository. And linking Indian chain with Aadhaar can thus create a secure personal identity for all Indians. And India should effectively channelize its technical human capital surplus to position itself as one of the pioneers during this upcoming wave of innovation, that is the blockchain. Therefore, हम लोग का यहाँ पे बहुत prospects है, और India should directly regular as well as monitor such number of prospects in the blockchain technology. Okay, so this was an explanation of the digital economy related with the blockchain platform. चलो next पे आते हैं Great Indian Bastards. Okay, अगर मैं ग्रेट इंडियन बास्टर्स का यहाँ पे एक न्यूज पे है, क्योंकि दिस बास्टर्स आर डायरेक्टली टुडे अडॉप्टिंग एंड अ प्रोसेस ऑफ गिविंग 2x. ओके, तो आज अगर मैं ग्रेट इंडियन बास्टर्स के बारे में थोड़ा भी बोलूं, तो वी कैन सी दैट द ग्रेट इंडियन बास्टर्ड और दिस इंडियन बास्टर्ड is a bastard found in the Indian subcontinent. Okay, and this is a large bird with a horizontal body and a long bare legs. तो यहाँ पे फोटो में तुम लोग देख सकते हो. Okay, and it is giving at an appearance like an ostrich type का दिखता है, लेकिन ostrich है नहीं, वो अलग बात है. And the bird is amongst the heaviest of the flying birds. Okay, and you can see that today the range of these birds or the very availability of the birds is directly decreasing, because these birds are often found associated in the same habitat as the black bucks. Black buck case हम कम नहीं जानते. The case is very popular because of Salman Khan. Okay, so these birds are the species which are today critically endangered, because they are either lost by hunting and because they are lost directly because they have no habitat in which they have directly been implemented. So therefore, today we can see that these great Indian bastards are directly considered amongst the most critically endangered species of the Indian subcontinent. यहाँ पे भी लिखा हुआ है, देख लो, CR, critically endangered. And this is the area, or this is the locations you can see in the dotted area where this particular bird can be found. Okay. तो अभी ये respective issue क्या चल रहा है कि this great Indian bastards is now adopting a 2 egg clutch bastard. Okay, और ये new behavior है. And this new behavior is because of the result of the increased feed after heavy rain, hail, and recorded. So after a heavy rain and after some of the new feeds that have been created naturally, ये लोग आज 2 egg produce कर. Okay, and the alleged beliefs and recorded observations regarding this egg-laying habits of the great Indian bastard have changed as of now, because they today are adopting a completely new habit of laying 2 eggs at a time after consuming some of the extra protein-rich diet during the monsoon season. Even the environmentalists of Rajasthan have lauded this as a new record, because पहले क्या था, single set of eggs था, but today they are getting 2 eggs. So they have discovered this particular new trend in the Desert National Park of Jaisalmer. जैसलमेर में हम लोग का डेजर्ट नेशनल पार्क है, वहां पे मिलता है. Okay, and therefore these people are also very much in shock. तो इसीलिए today, with the aim of conserving this great Indian bastards whose population have declined to less than 150 in the wild, आज 150 लोग ही है, 150 species से बचा हुआ है. And today we are directly focusing much more towards the breeding projects, which directly focus on or which directly prioritize the conservation management of such number of species today. So in every particular circumstances today, we have to directly see, because even most of the experts who participated in the event were unanimous that the GIB laid only 1 day. Even while famous ornithologist Salim Ali, he was also of the opinion that the bird should lay more than 1 egg. But today, because of the some of the natural, because आज हम लोग habitat create कर रहे हैं उन लोग के लिए, आज हम लोग उन लोग को प्रोटेक्ट कर रहे हैं, and because of the suitable conditions that they are facing, today they are directly going with this 2 eggs. और वो egg वाला 1 egg वाला system वो लोग अभी नकार चुके हैं. So this is foundly we can see that this particular species or this particular bird is a very important bird of the areas of Gujarat, of the areas of Rajasthan. So therefore, this needs to be preserved as possible, because if we preserve such number of habitat of this respective birds, we can save more and more number of species to this respective Indian subcontinent. Okay, so ये respective news है about the great Indian bastards. Okay, lastly, coming with the Bombay commercialization, today we know that India as well as China. Okay, India and China are the two major Bombay bamboo producing nations, and China globally supplies 83% of the Bombay products. India has largest area under bamboo cultivation, about 14 million hectares, whereas China has only 6 million hectares. But India lacks because India does not go for a more number of commercial production of bamboo. Okay, also यहाँ पर research बहुत कम है. Okay, यहाँ पर decision making policy slow होता है. And also India has failed in successful use of bamboo in a circular manner. So today we know that India, about in the plantation of associated with the bamboo. Bamboo can be used in 1500 different ways, including as food, a substitute for wood, building, construction material, for handicrafts, for paper. So 1500 different ways में bamboo use कर सकता है. And the advantage of bamboo is manifold compared to monocultural tree plantations. Today, after planting, bamboo can become a part of the agroforestry practice in small land holdings. And new bamboo plantations today may curb the pressure from deforestation by serving as wood substitutes. And due to the versatile nature of the bamboo and multiple uses, it is also called as poor man's timber. Okay, and we know that this can be planted to reclaim severely degraded sites and wasteland. जो एक साइड एक एग्रीकल्चरल लैंड, इट्स नॉट कमिंग अंडर नेट जोन एरिया, नॉन कल्चरेबल वेस्टलैंड बन गया है। वहां पे खेती हुआ था, लेकिन ड्यू टू ओवर डायरेक्टली यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ सच लैंड रिसोर्सेस, वी हैव डायरेक्टली such land is directly today a wasteland. So to regenerate such number of wasteland or degraded sites, this bamboos can be planted. And it is a good soil binder owing to its peculiar clump formation and fibrous root system, which plays an important role in soil and well as water conservation. And ये जो bamboo है, it is the fastest growing canopy, releasing 35% more oxygen than trees. सोच सकते हो तुम लोग 35% more. And there are studies reporting that bamboo stands sequester 12 tons of carbon dioxide from per hectare. Per hectare अगर मैं bamboo कहीं पे लगा दूं तो 12 tons of carbon dioxide can be sequestered, which leads to global warming. But today we all know that though it grows tall like a tree, it still belongs to the grass family. So therefore abhi hum log ka with the new emergement we can see that today we are directly changing our respective impression towards the bamboos under the National Bamboo Mission. Okay, हम लोग ने National Bamboo Mission शुरू किया था, and this bamboo mission enhanced the yield with some of the improved and new varieties. यहाँ पे हम लोग promotion करेंगे, marketing करेंगे bamboo and bamboo products का. We will directly provide, promote, and develop and disseminate technologies through a perfect blend of modern scientific knowledge as well as traditional wisdom. ये भी करेंगे हम लोग. इन सम ऑफ द पोटेंशियल एरियाज हम लोग देखेंगे कि बैम्बू का कवरेज कितना है. तो इन ऑल सच पर्सपेक्टिव टुडे वी आर डायरेक्टली गोइंग फॉर वेरियस नंबर ऑफ कमर्शियलाइजेशन. और चाइना आज हम लोग से बहुत ज्यादा आगे निकल के चला गया, just because we were at some point of time was not focused to this plan. So today under various initiatives, today the bamboo is not considered, which cannot be cut by respective individuals. तो आज वो लिबरेट कर दिया गया है कि bamboo can now be cut and can be used for commercial purposes. So therefore we can see that in some period of time today, out of various number of research and development, we could even touch the limits of Chinese commercial exports, because we have got a more number of areas, just more than China in terms of bamboo production. तो वो बस हम लोग commercially use नहीं करते. So we have to think about such so that we could directly enhance the respective arena of bamboo to make it use in some of the commercial forms. तो bamboo को ये सब करके भी we have the basic aim of doubling the farmer's income, क्योंकि bamboo से भी lot many number of uses आता है. And if a farmer has got a bamboo plant, bamboo tree, then obviously he can directly make it sell and can directly benefit his respective income from the selling or from the commercial use of such number of bamboo trees. So ये एक respective discussion है about the bamboo commercialization. Okay, so that's all for today. So you're gonna attempt these 5 questions which are directly in your screen. Okay, once main question, you can directly get the answers of this in the Telegram channel of us. So thank you all for today. Jai Hind.